to me, call me and shower also. And he said he was sent by the chairman and his chief of staff. Promise Wanko and Obinaya, being the local government chairman, sent him to pick collect the maize from me. He's the CSO councillor. He dealt with the maize now.
Well, online photos showed her with her torn clothes and an SUV with smashed windscreens, where she explained why she had the mace in her car.
Council is under renovation and the clerk is not on my side. Then the deputy leader is dressing like a leader. Somebody in the midst of them told me I should be careful that they bought the cap for the deputy leader and a gown, and they dressed the deputy leader. And I saw the thing on Facebook and they're renovating the council. So I took the maze and I called the council chairman immediately that I'm with the maze. See the purpose of me taking that maze. He said okay. And the councillors agreed I should hold the maze because it's not safe. They are under renovation.
Well, she, however, denied staging her attack.
Is it possible for you to you yourself broke the glass of your car, back of the car, side, you just on your own, break your car? How will I turn my gun? Mother like me, that has 4 children, then I will turn my gun for my picture to go to the there. So I broke my car and I also gave them the maze. My car is there now, parking at the council. You look at me now, I'm all over the media. The married woman that has kids and a husband. My pictures everywhere in the media. They should take care of my car and even the money they took from my car too. Then I wanted to go and use and pay for my child traveling. I didn't see it in my
Chairperson of the Nigeria Association has condemned the attack on the Eche legislative leader, Cynthia Wala.
We, members of the Nigerian Association of Women Journalists Rivers State Chapter, has condemned the brutal attack unleashed on the Eche legislative leader, Right Honorable Mrs. Cynthia Wala, at the Eche Local Government Council Secretariat. The attack is not only barbaric but an unpardonable assault.
Sparked a public outcry, leading to arrests of several people. Those indicted for their murder were sentenced to death 4 years after by the Rivers State High Court in Port Harcourt. They include a police sergeant, Lucky Orji, David Chinasa Ogbada, and Ikechukwu Lois Amadi, aka Capone. Well, 4 of the suspects in the trial were discharged and acquitted. Away from that, chairman of Okrika local government area, Akuro Tobins, says the only casualty from the collapse of the Isaka jetty on Saturday evening was a 4-year-old girl. Mr. Tobins, in an interview, said local divers rescued every other person that fell into.
The corpse was discovered. Handed over to the family of the deceased. It is only one casualty.
In other news now, Senate Minority Leader Enyinaya Abaribe says there are other separatist groups agitating for similar purposes in the southeast region, like IPOB. Speaking in a television interview, Senator Abaribe said the various separatist agitations is caused by poor management of the nation's diversity.
Somebody from that enclave, from the same place, from the southeast, Dr. Alese Kwemo, blessed memory, was a vice president of this country, which showed that there were people who were able to manage the diversity of Nigeria. Why you're having separatist agitations everywhere today in the west, in the south side and all that, is that some people are unable to manage our diversity. That is just the facts.
Well, the lawmaker, however, reiterated that he doesn't regret standing as a surety for the detained leader of IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu.
Not at all. I've even said in another interview, I think it was on TVC, that if the secretary had the same thing today, I will still sound shorty. Because, Sean, what was the problem? You feel that you're being unfairly treated. And at every point that you try to make and say, why don't we talk about it, you're being blocked at all points.
Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, says it's not true that the federal government treats bandits with leniency. In a television interview, the minister said banditry is criminality with no basis on religion or ideology and are being handled as it should. President Muhammadu Buhari is to present the 2022 appropriation bill to a joint session of the Senate and House of Representatives on Thursday. The Deputy President of the Senate, Ovie Omoagege, disclosed this today while presiding over the plenary as the Senate President Ahmad Lawan was absent. He urged the Senate Committee on Finance to expedite action on the revised medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper, which the President forwarded to the Senate today. Well, he told them to submit their report for consideration. Is still worried over poor welfare for teachers. Speaking shortly after an event to mark the day in Port Harcourt, Mr. Lucky told our correspondent that the teaching profession is neglected by government.
The aim is at teachers gathering to be able to evaluate their performances in terms of their relationship with their employer for the past 1 year. It is a day for stock taking. In terms of today's celebration in Rivers State, it is low-key. It is a black day for teachers of Rivers State. They have no joy to celebrate this day, but just in obedience to their calling. The reason is that everything about their welfare has not been undertaken by government.
Mr. Mbogane, however, commended teachers for their sacrifices despite being ignored by government.
We make several attempts and we write several to government. We are not confrontational. We are critical stakeholders. Our duty is to use diplomacy to approach government, which I have been doing since in 2015 that I became chairman. But I congratulate teachers of Rivers State who are so committed and have devoted their time, even in the midst of all these treatments to them in their welfare packages. They have been committed to their job.
Meanwhile, the Director of Administration and Public Relations at the Rivers State Universal Basic Education Board, George Karibi, has called for self-improvement among teachers to complement government's efforts in the training and retraining of teachers in the state. He spoke to correspondent Emeka Otoka on this.
It's a myth that teachers are not undergoing any form of training or retraining. The duty of personal responsibility on you is what makes you to undertake certain courses, whether they are online courses for your own edification. And so I would imagine that in addition to whatever specific training programs that the government may have organized, structured for teachers, individual teachers should also see themselves as worthy individuals and attend training programs for their own edification. Training programs that they identify can improve what they are doing.
Well, he also said the Universal Basic Education Board has been granting study leave to teachers.
I would say that the majority of teachers are forward-looking. Where I work, at my administrative desk, every day I see, hundreds of applications for permission being requested by teachers to improve themselves. Now, that is a very good thing.
The theme for this year's celebration is Teachers at the Heart of Education Recovery. In business, NAFDAC has advised Nigerians against eating frozen poultry products and other food items preserved with formalin. NAFDAC's spokesman, Dr. Abubakar Jimo, gave the advice in an interview with the News Agency of Nigeria. He said dishonest business owners use formalin to preserve poultry products, chicken and turkey in particular. He warned that formalin is capable of preserving such products for weeks before they get to consumers, but is a poisonous chemical popularly used to preserve the human body in mortuaries. And in entertainment, Paris Fashion Week wraps up today after 9 days of innovative experiments that showed how the industry is embracing technology and new approaches for a post-pandemic future. While many fashion houses stuck to online presentations, the biggest names such as Dior, Balenciaga and Stella McCartney, even Yves Saint Laurent, which had been first to quit live shows when the pandemic hit, got back to the catwalk. And in sports, Kenya has confirmed its bid to host the 2025 Athletics World Championships, which, if accepted, would bring the event to Africa for the first time, when Nairobi has hosted both the World Under-18 and Under-20 World Championships in the last 4 years, but faces a string of high-profile rivals, including Tokyo, which staged the Olympic Games in July.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
Facebook whistleblower Frances Haugen is testifying at an internet safety hearing on Capitol Hill. The 37-year-old, who is a former product manager on Facebook's civic integrity team, tells senators that Facebook's leaders know how to make their products safer, but won't. But she said they have put their immense profits before people. Well, Democrats and Republicans expressed their concern about Facebook in their opening remarks, and Facebook has rejected her claims, saying it has spent significant sums of money on safety. While the highly anticipated testimony comes a day after a massive Facebook outage, which Council chairman has denied masterminding the attack on the leader of Eche Legislative Assembly, Cynthia Wala. President Buhari is to present the 2022 budget to the National Assembly on Thursday, and the world is marking Teachers' Day today. On the foreign scene, Facebook whistleblower Frances Hogan has testified at the Internet Safety U.S. Senate hearing. The news was edited by Chioma Ezenwafo. Contact our newsroom on 0818-900-0017. For more stories, visit www.nigeriainfo.fm. Cloudy weather in Port Harcourt this evening. I am Constance Mega. Thank you so much for listening.